There are literally thousands and thousands of videos out there that claim they can help you increase your club head speed and increase your distance. But I guarantee you this, they have never shared with you the 3 secret speed sources that I'm going to talk about today. I'm PGA teaching professional Todd Kolb, Director of Instruction for US Golf TV, and instructional partner with my good friends over at Go Golf 365. And the longest players in the world, the ones with the most club head speed, are doing 3 things, 3 body motions that are helping them get the club head speed that I know you want. And we're going to dive right into that here today. So first of all, if you haven't already, hopefully you've subscribed to our channel. Be sure to do that, and also be sure to leave a comment. I love the comments. I love hearing from you, going back and forth. And a lot of you out there, you're teaching me some things too. So be sure to leave a comment, even if you don't agree with me. That's okay. Don't take it personal. We love hearing from you. So let's talk about what are these 3 secret speed sources. Now the good thing is that we're going to identify what they are here today. But I'm also going to give you a drill for each one of them. And then at the end, I'm going to give you something that you can actually apply when you go to the golf course to play a round of golf. Theories are great. Drills are fantastic. But at the end of the day, you've got to be able to execute on the golf course, and we're going to do that at the end. Now, there are literally 3 power sources, 3 speed sources, shall we call them, that the body does to help create or increase club head speed. Now, the first one I like to call is drift. Now, what do we mean by drift? I use the word drift, but a lot of you might feel this, or a lot of golf instructors might talk about this as a transferring of weight or pressure shift. Basically, the drifting of the body. When the body moves from side to side, it could move, from left foot to right foot, or right foot to left foot, or if you're left-handed, obviously the opposite. But when the body moves mass, when pressure moves, when weight moves, all right, that's a way to generate speed and power or force. So that would be the first one, would be what I like to call drift. And we're going to give you a drill for that, here in just a second. The second one is rotation, okay? So I'm just going to put down here, rotate. Now, when we think about creating speed, when we think about something rotating around, there's lots of things that rotate around that create speed out on the end. In essence, the golf swing is a lot of rotation. There's a lot of rotation in the golf swing. So when something rotates, or we might think of it in golf terms of pivot. Okay, when I pivot, when I rotate side to side, that helps me create club head speed. It allows me to swing the club a little bit faster. So those would be the first 2, drifting and then rotating. Now the last one, and this is one that I'm going to be honest, for a lot of times in golf instruction was really frowned upon. But now that we understand with 3D analysis, this is one of the things we do here in our research at the Golf Academy, is we actually do 3D research on this with force plates and 3D cameras, and we're checking this out. So this stuff that I'm sharing with you is based in science. This is not a theory. This is reality. And that last one is what I like to call lift. Now, lift is, in essence, lifting up off the ground or pushing up off the ground. And that would be the third power source that a lot of amateur golfers really don't utilize as much as they can. So let's recap that. We got the drift, we've got some rotation, and we've got some lift. So those are the 3 ways that the body moves to create club head speed. So it's got drifting from side to side, it's got rotation, and then it's got lifting. Now, what are some of the drills that we could do in order to kind of help us? Now, I'm going to go through the drills that I have, but if you've got some drills that you have used, or maybe your golf coach has shared with you that help with this, be sure to include those in the comments, because we really like hearing about them. So the first drill that is, I like to call, is we call it transfer. Now, you can do this really a couple different ways, but in essence, we've got to train the drifting. So how the transfer drill works, I like to do this drill with my driver. Matter of fact, I do almost all the drills for speed with the driver, okay? Because that is the club that we're looking for maximum club head speed. But the transfer drill is pretty simple. You're going to take your regular setup, and then what you're going to do, and you can do this a couple different ways, but the first way I would do it is just get set up for your driver. And if you really don't understand how to set up with your driver, check out some of our other videos. I got detailed videos on how to set up with your driver, ball position, those types of things. But for the drill, you take your regular setup, and as you make a backswing, you go ahead and lift your lead foot a little bit and bring it back. You kind of slide the lead foot back just a little bit. And then when you get to the top, you go ahead and replace that lead foot and step forward. So you swing it back, you lift the lead foot, and then you step forward and replant it. That would be one way to do it, because what that's doing there is that's helping you drift towards the target. That's creating one of those power sources, or one of those speed sources that we want. All right, so that would be the first drill. I like to call that the transfer drill. The second drill that we do to help with rotation, I like to call it the phone drill. Now this day and age, everybody's got a phone, and where do they usually have their phone? They have it in their back pocket, right? So the phone is a good reference point to help you learn the rotation. So all you do is you take your phone, you put it in your back pocket, you put it in your trail pocket. So for me, that'd be my right back pocket. And when I swing the club, I like to do this with my driver again, I feel the phone just working back and away from the golf ball. So I feel the phone working back. Now, as the phone works back and away from the ball, that helps me rotate. So I'll do a few of those, maybe 4 or 5 of those, then I'll switch. I'll move the phone from my back right pocket to my back left pocket, and now I'm going to feel on the downswing, I'm going to feel my left pocket, the phone work back and away from the target line. So I'm working both sides. I'm working backstroke, phone works away, and then I'm working downstroke, phone works away. And that rotation, when you think of some of the best players in the world, especially the men these days, all right, some of the top players, you're going to see a lot of that rotation, because that rotation is helping them create club head speed. So that would be the second drill that we're going to work on. Now, the last one here is the lift drill, all right, to help us with the lift. And I like to call this extension. Now, this is something that for years was kind of frowned upon. People said, and maybe I might have even taught this early on in my career, I don't know, but to keep your feet on the ground. You got to keep your feet on the ground. Well, that's fine if you want to hit your drive 200 yards. But if you want some real speed, you've got to be using the ground to push up and off the ground. You think of other sports, a basketball. When you're going to shoot a basketball, you bend the knees, you push up and off the ground. That's what the coach teaches you. Hey, you got to jump if you want to shoot from the 3-point range, all right? Free throw, a little different, shorter shot. You can just stand there and kind of do it with your arms. Same way with the drive. You want to hit it 200, you can stay on the ground. But you want to hit it 250, 260, 280, you've got to be utilizing that ground and pushing up and off it. So what we do for that, pretty simple drill. Once again, I like to do it with my driver. Just take my driver, I put it literally on the ground, kind of back and behind the ball, maybe 3-4 feet, and I just drag it through and I push up and off the ground. And as I push up, I'm going to feel my legs push up, I might feel my glutes extend and squeeze a little bit, and I move up and nice and high. And I'm really feeling like I'm pushing up and off the ground. So those are 3 of the secret speed sources that we can create. Now, what's important here though is you got to go to the first tee and you've got to be able to execute a shot. So I like to use a phrase. Now the phrase that I like to use is pretty simple. It's called load, drift, okay, extend. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking all 3 of these things and I'm combining them into a phrase. So I'm on the first tee and I'm going to load, I'm going to drift, and I'm going to extend. And that's the phrase that I use as I'm getting ready to make my practice swings. I'm saying in my head, load, drift, extend. And I get that feel, and then I walk up to the ball and I execute that shot. So there's nothing better than increasing club head speed. There's nothing better than hitting long drives down the fairway. And in order to do that, I've got to utilize the secret speed sources that I have available to me. These will help us do that. Be sure to leave a comment. Be sure to subscribe. We love hearing from you, and I hope these drills and these ideas help you hit the golf ball further.